bookish besties, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I audiobooked this one not too long ago. It was probably more towards the beginning of the year, but I wanted to do a full review on this, spoiler free of course, but I wanted to do it to not only jog my memory but maybe help some of you jog your memories, or for those of you that don't want to read the book before the movie comes out, then this will help you as well. So basically I'm doing this all in preparation for the movie coming out with Blake Lively on, I believe, August 9th. I am planning on going to see it. I am pretty excited for it. The trailers have been looking really good. I'm in love with Blake Lively. That's probably one of the main reasons I'm going to see it. I wanted to just do a full review on this book. I have two editions. I just have the regular paperback, and then I saw this pretty edition. It was just gorgeous. I like the flower petals and the flowers all over it, and then the flowers on the inside. And then it's got little like digital signature and some pretty sparkles in the front. So at first, I'm just going to be giving a brief little overview / synopsis of the book if any of you haven't read it, or like I said, to just jog memories. So it is about Lily, and she grows up with an abusive father. She falls in love with like a poor neighborhood boy, and then later on in life she winds up in an abusive relationship, and she's navigating that for herself and also for her child that she's going to have. So it's just an all-encompassing tale of breaking toxic and tragic relationship cycles, as well as mother-daughter relationships, and how love can find you later on in life as well. So the synopsis says, sometimes the one who loves you is the one who hurts you the most. Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from a small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. Ryle is assertive, stubborn, maybe even a little arrogant. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily, but Ryle's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing. As questions about her new relationship overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Atlas Corrigan, her first love and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Atlas suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. So like I said, it's basically traversing different relationships and trying to break toxic relationships that you have throughout your life. This was my second Colleen Hoover book. I'm not the biggest Colleen Hoover fan, or that she's TikTok famous or whatever. I'm just going to be basing my opinions off of what I thought of. So like I said, some of the major themes in this book are resilience. So it's just Lily getting back up throughout her life and carrying on. She opens her own business, which is her flower shop. She carries on, after everything with her father. She carries on after losing Atlas. She carries on through her relationship with Ryle, so it's just resilience to move on to the next step of your life. And then it's also about courage, breaking free from the toxic, tragic relationships all over in your life, with her father, with Ryle, just breaking these toxic relationships and trends and cycles, and she's going to teach her daughter to break these toxic trends and cycles as well. And then another huge thing that I loved is mother-daughter relationships. So not only do we see the mother-daughter relationship between Lily and her mom and how much stronger it gets in the end, but we also see the mother-daughter relationship between Lily and her daughter, and we see how she chooses her daughter over everything, and how that is the most important aspect in her life, and how, these different men don't ever affect that bond. My overall rating for this book is 4 stars. I did really enjoy the audiobook. I think I would have enjoyed reading it physically as well. It didn't drag. The story was interesting the entire time, so I definitely think it does get a 4 stars. Did I hate it? No. Did I love it? No. It's just a very middle ranged book for me. I don't think it really sticks with me. I don't think I really think about it unless somebody brings it up or unless I see the movie trailer. And I don't think it would stick with me that much if I wasn't going to see the movie either. But I do think it was better than I thought it was going to be. I had heard some really bad reviews on this book, but I don't think it is as bad as those reviews are portraying. So overall, I do think it is a very just midly written book. I don't think it's anything to write home about, but I also don't think anybody should necessarily trash it. So let me get a little bit deeper into some of my more specific thoughts on the books. I'm going to keep this spoiler free, so there's they're just very general, overarching views of things that happen in the book. If you do watch this video and you haven't read the book and want to see the movie, you'll basically get the general understanding of the book from this video. There really isn't much to spoil with this book anymore, just because nothing crazy happens and like you see everything all over TikTok and there's just nothing really to spoil. She doesn't end up with anybody in this book. Like there's nothing that should really surprise you in this book. So going into that, just know that nothing is shocking, nothing is revealing, there's no crazy spoiler, anything that can really happen. Overall, I didn't think Lily was a bad character, but I also don't think she was the most in-depth character. The book was very weirdly surface level. Don't feel like I got background on anyone. I feel like maybe the person I got the most background on would be Atlas and then Lily. Like with Ryle, we don't get a lot of his background and we just don't get a lot of substance from all of them. So it is a very weird surface level book. You know, Lily and her flower shop is very inspiring and it does sound beautiful and she does some crazy funky things with flowers. So I think her showing her individuality through that is very interesting. I think it's weird, but I also love it that she writes to Ellen, and this you literally figure out within like the first couple pages of the book. But she writes to Ellen. I think it's like, at first I was just like, why is she writing to Ellen? This is so random, like this is weird. But then you kind of realize that it was like a trauma response, I guess, to her father. So she would put on Ellen and then she bonded over that with Atlas. And, you know, they always said just keep swimming because Ellen was Dory. And she voiced Dory in the Finding Nemo movies. So it's kind of sweet that she like turns to Ellen for all of her big moments. But I also think that she should have turned to her mother for all of her big moments. So again, I didn't love it and I didn't hate it. Atlas is most definitely my favorite character. I just think that his background is very sad and just very traumatic, and it does get kind of a little better, but not really. You wind up proud of him in the end of the story, but it's just very sad to see, like, you know, his childhood and his upbringing and how that is also another form of trauma when you have parents that aren't there versus when you have two parents that are there, like Lily, and how that trauma develops. The only thing that I didn't love with the relationship between Lily and Atlas in the beginning is that she just, like, she acted like she was in love with like a full-blown homeless man, like just off the street, like an older homeless man. But then you find out it's just a boy from school that she's been seeing in an abandoned house behind her house. So like, I don't like that that was like, not clickbaity, but a little bit like off-putting. Like it just made it seem so different, because I was just like listening to it, I'm like, oh my god, she's in love with like literally just like a homeless man and she's a child. But then you find out that she's like just like falling for a boy at school that she's been seeing in an abandoned building and doesn't know if he has a home or not because his clothes are always the same. And she's just seeing things as signs of him being poor. So I thought that was weird. I didn't really love the probably introduction to that entire thing, but that's okay. I really basically hated every scene with Ryle in it. I don't remember any romantic part with Ryle and Lily. I don't remember any redeeming qualities about Ryle. I don't remember him doing anything nice. I don't remember a single good thing about that character. The only thing that kept me going really hardcore in this book was her journal entries when she was looking back on her life with Atlas in the beginning and their relationship when they were younger. That was the only thing that really kept me going. Yeah, but I don't remember a single redeeming quality about Ryle. Another character that I am so in love with is Ryle's sister. I think she was such a staple for this book. She was constantly there for Lily, constantly taking Lily's side, believing Lily in everything she said, and basically picking Lily's side over Ryle and being like, listen, I understand my brother is this awful human being, but I'm going to be here to protect you and love you and be family for you as well. So I really loved that she was just there for her the entire time. That made it special for me. Like, she was helping her with her flower shop, and you know, she was just always there and a really good friend to Lily. So that made me really happy. It did seem a little trauma dumpy and like it put traumatic situations in there for the sake of trauma, but I also do think that it dealt with very heavy topics very well. Like, I can remember there's this one conversation she has with her mother about why her mother never left her father, and then Lily comes to the realization that her mother was this resilient, strong amazing human being, and they form so much of a stronger bond because of this. So it was dealt with very well, but I do feel like there are some things that were extremely traumatic that didn't really need to be in there. But that being said, it did deal with very heavy topics very well, and it fully developed her relationship with her mother very beautifully. It was just a very beautiful relationship that they wound up having in the end, and then, you know, her daughter winds up having a beautiful relationship with her and her mother as well. Again, I just hated everything to do with Ryle. He literally like throws her down the stairs. He is a horrible human being, and I think it took a while for Lily to leave him, but you also never know what it's like to be in that situation. And again, we see it through the mother's point of view as well. So I guess it shows us that we never know what someone's going through either. So to always treat people with kindness and to respect people and what they're doing. And Ryle gives me the ick. He completely begs Lily for sex. It's so creepy. Everything about his character was just horrible. And I cannot stand that part of the book, even though it's a huge part of the book. I know we're not supposed to like him, but I'm really nervous that in the movie they're going to romanticize him a little too heavily. But I hope this adaptation is true to the book, because if it is, I think it'll be done very well, but it could go very, very wrong. Because a man like Ryle should not be romanticized in any way, shape, or form. He has no redeeming qualities. Nothing nice that he does is redeeming at all. So please don't feel like he needs to be redeemed or have a redemption arc. He deserves nothing of the sorts. So basically, my overall generalizations are that I hate everything to do with Ryle, and he does not deserve any redemption or any redeeming anything. He just deserved to be wiped off the map out of the story. I love Atlas, and it just shows you that life can bring you your love no matter where you are in life, no matter what has happened, no matter how many times it has separated you from someone, it can still bring you that love. And if you are meant to be together, life will find a way to bring you together. And I really love the mother-daughter relationships in this. That's my favorite part. And at the end, when she looks at her daughter and she says, "It ends with us," she is bringing in the book title, which was beautiful. That part almost made me cry. And she tells her daughter, you know, this cycle ends with us. Like, I will not let anybody harm you, and I will not let anything ever happen to you. And I thought that was really beautiful, because she is prioritizing her daughter over any man in her life, even over Atlas, over everyone. And she sees Atlas after everything happens with Ryle, and, you know, they both agree that they made it to the shore, because their saying was always just keep swimming. And I thought that was also very beautiful. The writing wasn't bad. Like I said, I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. I'm very excited for this movie to come out. I think they picked wonderful actors and actresses for it. I love Blake Lively. I love the male main character playing Ryle. I know he was in Jane the Virgin. And I don't know where the actor that playing Atlas is from, but he looks just like what I pictured him in my head. And Lily's Flower Shop is beautiful, and I'm very excited to see it come to life. I don't really know if I'm going to give any similar books or other recommendations similar to this book, just because this one is kind of a very odd genre of, like, it's kind of a romance, but not really a romance. It's not a romance you're striving for, so I don't think I'm going to be giving recommendations of any books that are similar to this one. In future reviews, I'm going to be giving recommendations of books like this one, but like I said, for this one, I think we're just going to keep it at this. I'm not going to give you any more traumatic books to read, but yeah, overall, you know, check out trigger warnings, because there are very heavy topics in this book, like I said. That is all I have to say on It Ends With Us, and I can't wait to do a book-movie comparison when the movie comes out. I'm very excited to see how they're going to adapt this, and I hope they do it well. I'm going to end the video here, so thank you for watching. There will be many more videos like this to come. Let me know if you like the style, if you like the format in which I did this. Like I said, I'm going to be recommending similar books in the future when, you know, the books are a little more typical and I can put them into subgenres and tropes and everything like that. But like I said, there will be more reviews where that came from. Let me know if you've read this book in the comments and what you thought of it. If you made it to this spot and you don't want to leave anything in the comments, you can leave a pink flower emoji just to let me know that you made it to the end of the video. But thank you for watching as always, and happy reading. Bye!